Get ready for the big news. Graham Norton has weighed in on the UK's unique Eurovision entry, revealing why musician and YouTuber Sam Battle, known as Look Mum No Computer, with his track Eins, Zwei, Drei, is a game changer for the contest. Norton shared his bold predictions about whether Look Mum No Computer can actually win the grand final, hinting at the massive energy this act is bringing to the stage.
Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to hold it with one hand? The PopSocket's Pop Grip gives you a secure grip, works as a phone stand, and even lets you swap the top for a fresh new look. Simple, useful, and perfect for everyday phone use. Click the link in the comments to grab yours on Amazon.
The political turmoil continues as a third minister walks out, criticizing Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer for a lack of bold, radical action, and Davies-Jones announced her resignation as the victim's minister, adding serious pressure to the Labour leader. We dive into the mounting demands from Labour MPs who are pushing for a leadership change right now. The pressure mounts further as safeguarding minister Jess Phillips resigns from Sir Keir Starmer's cabinet, citing a lack of bold action and stressing that deeds, not just words, are what matter in tackling violence against women and girls. This resignation is fueling the intense debate over the government's direction. Jess Phillips' departure follows Maïda Fonboulet's resignation, signaling a major shake-up in the government, and as speculation about the Prime Minister's future intensifies following tough election results, we bring you all the latest updates. Don't miss the full story. Stay tuned right here. Graham Norton has declared the UK's entry for this year's Eurovision Song Contest to be different to anything else we've ever entered. Speaking ahead of the grand final, which marks the 70th edition of the competition, Norton highlighted the unique nature of the UK's selection. The nation will be represented by musician and YouTuber Sam Battle, known as Look Mum No Computer, performing their track Eins, Zwei, Drei. Norton expressed strong confidence in the act, stating, "I think Look Mum No Computer is a really great choice for the UK. The song is different to anything else we've ever entered, and I can really imagine the whole arena getting behind it." He added a touch of levity regarding the UK's historical performance, joking, "Can he win? Never say never." The UK last secured a victory in 1997 with Katrina and the Waves' Love Shine a Light. Norton emphasized the potential for the performance, hoping that Look Mum No Computer would deliver the requisite charm, humor, and energy. He concluded that if the act connects with the crowd, victory is inevitable. Reflecting on the contest itself, Norton described Eurovision as something that really defies description, noting the unique phenomenon of viewers across Europe judging simultaneously, which makes it difficult to fully comprehend. Sam Battle, 37, a YouTuber known for inventive electronic creations, including instruments built from Furby toys and synthesizers integrated into a Raleigh chopper bicycle, will perform live from Vienna. He has built much of his own staging, though he previously cited concerns about BBC trust regarding his welding skills. Competition is expected to be fierce this year, with Norton suggesting fans should keep a close watch on Finland, France, and Australia. The UK boasts a long history in the contest, having participated in all editions since 1959 and securing 5 wins, with a record 16 second-place finishes, the most recent being in 2022 with Sam Ryder and Spaceman. The Eurovision Song Contest is set to take place in Vienna at the Wiener Stadthalle on May 16th, following semi-finals on May 12th and 14th. UK viewers can follow the action live on BBC One and iPlayer, with coverage starting at 8 p.m. on TV, alongside BBC Radio 2 and BBC Sounds. A significant shake-up is underway in the government, as a third minister has resigned, directly criticizing Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer for a perceived lack of bold, radical action, urging him to step down. Davies-Jones announced her resignation as the Minister for Victims and Tackling Violence Against Women and Girls, following the departures of Jess Phillips and Maïda Fonboulet. This exodus of talent has intensified pressure on Labour leader Keir Starmer, who has vowed to remain in his position following a cabinet meeting on Tuesday. The discontent is palpable within the parliamentary party. At least 82 out of Labour's 403 MPs have now demanded Sir Keir's departure, reaching a numerical threshold that could trigger a leadership contest, contingent on unified support for a single candidate, which is currently absent. While backbench MPs supportive of Starmer are reportedly preparing a statement, a notable contingent of cabinet ministers has rallied behind the Prime Minister. Davies-Jones' resignation letter highlighted the scale of electoral defeats across the UK, stating, "The scale of the electoral defeats at the Senedd Cymru and across the United Kingdom have been catastrophic. The country has spoken, and we must listen." She underscored her decision was driven by the demands of her constituents and the victims she served. The discontent is further evidenced by other high-profile departures. Jess Phillips, a Home Office minister, also stepped down as the safeguarding minister, shortly before Davies-Jones' exit. Furthermore, the Birmingham Yardley MP, Jess Phillips, publicly denounced the Prime Minister's perceived failure to be bold, asserting she was not seeing the change the country expected. Starmer has maintained a firm stance, telling his cabinet that the country expects him to continue governing and that he is fulfilling that expectation. He has largely avoided direct challenges to his leadership, declining to discuss his fate in detail with critics after the cabinet meeting, though sources indicate he only offered one-on-one discussions to ministers. Support for Starmer is visible among several senior figures, including Technology Secretary Liz Kendall, Business Secretary Peter Kyle, Work and Pensions Secretary Pat McFadden, and Housing Secretary Steve Reed, who publicly voiced their backing. Conversely, splits within the top team are apparent, with other cabinet ministers reportedly indicating private advice for Starmer to resign. Health Secretary Mr. Streeting, who is viewed as a potential successor, was observed ignoring media inquiries as he left No 10. A significant shake-up in the Labour government has occurred as safeguarding minister. Jess Phillips has resigned, intensifying pressure on Sir Keir Starmer to step down amid mounting internal dissent. Phillips became the second minister to resign, directly criticizing the Prime Minister's perceived lack of boldness in addressing critical issues. The pressure on Starmer is escalating rapidly. At least 81 of Labour's 403 MPs have now demanded his departure following the party's recent electoral setbacks. While this number does not yet meet the formal threshold for triggering a leadership contest, the demand signals a significant internal crisis, contingent on all MPs uniting behind a single candidate, which is currently not the case. In her resignation statement, Birmingham Yardley MP Jess Phillips stated that any substantive action by Sir Keir to combat violence against women and girls appeared to stem from catastrophic mistakes. Phillips expressed frustration over what she perceived as incremental change in policy, specifically citing delays in proposals aimed at preventing the sharing of explicit images online as lacking the necessary bold approach. She emphasized the need for decisive action, arguing that deeds, not words, are what matter, and that the current pace is insufficient to meet public expectations. Phillips' departure follows another ministerial resignation on Tuesday morning, that of Housing, Communities and Local Government Minister Ms. Mayada Fonbele, who urged the Prime Minister to establish a timetable for an orderly transition amid public distrust over issues like the scrapping of the winter fuel payment. Despite the turmoil, Sir Keir Starmer has attempted to reassure his cabinet, with several senior ministers publicly rallying around him. However, the meeting revealed deep divisions within his top team. While loyalists such as Technology Secretary Liz Kendall and Business Secretary Peter Kyle voiced support, other cabinet members left the gathering without speaking to reporters, suggesting significant fractures regarding the Prime Minister's future. Health Secretary Wes Streeting, considered a potential successor, was also seen ignoring media inquiries as he left No 10. Starmer had previously told his cabinet he intended to continue governing, a stance that has now been severely tested by the resignations. Noi Dung Kai Tight. Safeguarding Minister Jess Phillips has resigned from Keir Starmer's cabinet, citing the need for decency. The departure follows a difficult period for Starmer, who earlier saw the resignation of Housing, Communities and Local Government Minister Mayada Fonbele. Phillips announced her decision this afternoon, stating in a letter to the Prime Minister that she could not continue serving under the current leadership. /and Phillips, described as a close ally of potential leadership challenger Wes Streeting, expressed her dissatisfaction, noting that while Labour governments have historically driven progress, she felt there was a lack of necessary drive and fight. She stated, "Decency is vital, calm curiosity is also needed, but so too are fight and drive required. I want a Labour government to work, and I will strive as I always have for its success and popularity, but I'm not seeing the change I think I and the country expect, and so cannot continue to serve as a minister under the current leadership." And this cabinet shakeup comes amidst intensifying speculation regarding Prime Minister Keir Starmer's future, following recent election results where Labour lost nearly 1,500 English councillors and experienced setbacks in Scotland and Wales. In a recent address, Sir Keir Starmer accepted responsibility for the losses, but framed the political moment as a battle for the soul of the UK, warning of a potential dark path if Labour faltered. And adding to the instability, Maida Fonbele, the former housing minister, also resigned earlier today. Fonbele told Starmer to do the right thing for the country and the party and set a timetable for an orderly transition, criticizing the government for not governing with the required vision, pace, and ambition.